What's up, YouTube? Powerful Media P. Thanks for coming and checking me out. Today, I did come across this video from Olivia Alexa. It popped up in my algorithm. I'm not familiar with her. I've actually never heard of her, but I did look at her page a little bit before I clicked on the video, and she does have a pretty big following of over 400,000 followers. So obviously, a lot of people have heard of her. But like I said, the video popped up in my algorithm. Sometimes I do like to trust the algorithm. Maybe they're trying to tell me something. Maybe there's a lady from my past that I need to reach out to, or I don't know. Do y'all ever trust your algorithm? Um, but anyway, and she's an attractive lady too. But anyway, the video is basically talking about 5 signs that she never moved on. So I always like hearing, things from a woman's perspective whenever the topic is about women. So yeah, let's hear what she has to say, and I'll give my thoughts.
Guys, I'm your girlfriend now, and I'm about to show you 5 clear signs the woman you think forgot about you hasn't. She might act distant, act like she doesn't give a damn, or post like she's over it. But if even one of these signs shows up, you still have her locked in emotionally, and she hasn't let you go. By the end of this video, you'll stop guessing and finally start seeing through the act. And if you're ready to go deeper, not to just understand her, but to flip the whole dynamic, grab my book Attraction Secrets. The link is in the description. Now let's get into it. Number one, she randomly checks in but acts like it's no big deal. If a woman is really over you, she will not reach out. But if she sends a just checking on you text or responds to your story or asks your friends how you're doing, she's not just being nice. She's trying to see if she still has access to you. Here's how you know it's a test. She doesn't ask for anything real. She doesn't want closure or to talk about the past. It's just small things to see if you'll still give her the attention. So what should you do? Do not jump at it. Stay calm. If you do reply, keep it short and direct. She needs to feel that you're not just sitting around waiting for her. Now I get it. Seeing her name pop up feels good. It's an ego boost, but this isn't real connection. It's control. Women are wired to protect their feelings. So when she checks in, she's trying to figure out where you stand without risking her own emotions. This is the same exact thing that keeps people hooked at casinos. It's called intermittent reinforcement. She gives a little, waits for your reaction, and if you give in, it rewards her. But when you stay calm or don't reply, she starts craving a response even more. That's when the power shifts because the ball is now in your court. Number two, she's still trying to trick.
So she's definitely trying to give the fellas some insight on how women can really be. As far as the first point, yeah, I think most people would assume that if somebody is still calling and checking on you, that they're probably still interested. I don't know if guys think as deep though as Olivia Alexa made it, you know, for a lot of women whenever they reach out, where they're really just trying to get a feel for you. Yeah, maybe a guy might think, oh yeah, she's just reaching out, not might not think much of it, and you just respond. However, um, but obviously based off of what Olivia Alexis saying, you can't just treat it like that. It's more serious than that. Um, you have to really consider whether you should respond at all. I truly think that whenever you're dealing with a woman, you should really just try to match energy, and women should probably do the same. That way, no one ends up feeling slighted. When you're trying to get to know somebody, if you don't feel that there's a mutual interest, or if you don't feel like the other person is putting forth as much effort as you are in getting to know one another, then you should maybe just fall back a little bit. I think the easy thing to do in an instance like this, so that you don't really have to, think too hard about whether you're doing too much or too little, is just put forth the same, put forth the same amount of effort that's being given. So if somebody doesn't have real questions for you, and they're just doing these little tests, these little small messages, just checking the temperature of everything, but they really don't have nothing to say to you, really not trying to talk to you, then when you respond, you should give the same amount of effort, give the same level of energy. And that way you don't have to worry about overextending yourself or putting forth all this effort and then feeling later on like you were taken advantage of or something because you didn't get the same amount of effort in return. I think people should really just start practicing matching the energy that people are awarding to them. And if they're not really giving you that energy, don't give it back. And if they don't get a hint and they don't kind of meet you where you are, then there goes your answer. They wasn't that serious anyway.
You. If she didn't care, she wouldn't care how you react. But if she still feels something, she'll try to get a reaction out of you. She might post another guy on her story, talk about how happy she is, show off a glow up. It's not real confidence, it's strategy. And it's not for the new guy, it's for you. So what do? You ignore it. You don't respond. Don't even look at her stories if it messes with your head. Cut off the reaction she's looking for. Now, a lot of you guys might be asking, why does she do this? And the answer is very simple, because it works. Evolution trained women to use pre-selection, showing they're wanted by others to boost their value. She's not over you though. She's trying to prove that she still matters to you. And the moment you stop giving her that validation, her plan starts falling apart. Number 3, she quietly stalks you.
Yeah, and I was actually just about to say, yeah, it sounds like you probably just shouldn't look her way. You shouldn't look her way. Because if a woman is doing all of that, all of these things to be seen, and she's trying to put on a show for you, then yeah, I think the worst thing you could do is give her the validation that she that she wants. I think that what will hurt her feelings the most in an instance like that is making her think that she doesn't matter to you. Even if she really does, you have to at least make her think that she doesn't. And it's not even a thing of, and it's not a thing of, playing games or anything like that. It's just more so about protecting your peace and protecting your well-being and mental state. So obviously, if someone's trying to do things to provoke you, and we're all human, certain things might bother you. So I think the best thing to do in certain instances is not entertain these things and, probably not even see. Like, if you've broken up with someone and you're still snooping around on their page, you really have to ask yourself, is that healthy? I mean, yeah, she's talking about all of these being signs of not moving on. And I think that we can agree that these are signs of not moving on. But if you're the person that's doing these things, you also got to ask yourself, like, is what you're doing healthy? Like you're sitting here, you're stalking somebody, or you're still trying to get this person's attention that you're not with anymore. And it's like, at what cost? At what cost? Me personally, when you're talking about my exes, I don't want to get back with my exes. And I know sometimes that stuff does work where people will rekindle old flames and things like that. But for the most part, I think when people break up, especially if they move on and go be with other people, then I think that you should just kind of leave it at what it is. I know me personally, my personal experience, I did, try. It was one relationship that I did try over and over and over. Like, gave it like so many chances. Like, literally, we would like break up and go be with other people, and then we would get back together. And it's like every time we got back together, it's like you felt more disconnected every time. And again, I know it's because of not just the time apart, but the going and being with other people. Uh, I don't know. Maybe women view it differently. I'm not really sure how women view that. If you break up and then you know that your guy's been with other people, I don't know if that like bothers women the same. Because I'm not talking about cheating. I'm just talking about, the guy being with other people when y'all was on a out. I know for me it wasn't even a thing of cheating, but still, even getting back together and knowing that while we was broken up, you was out here with him or him or him, that's a problem. That's a problem. And things could never just get back right ever. And it's like if I would have known what I know now, I don't think I ever would have tried to rekindle any old relationship where, me and the lady have literally broke up, spent some time apart, gone and been with other people, and then, we get back together, a year later or months later or whatever the case may be. If I would have known what I know now, I never would have even tried to rekindle those. It's like it's I see it work for some people out here, but considering my experience with trying to rekindle old flames, it is something that I would not recommend at all. Even though you do have exceptions, you have exceptions to damn near everything. But just because you have exceptions, that doesn't take away the fact that in most cases, when people try to rekindle, I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think there's a saying that the exception don't make the rule. I think that's the saying. And because people love to do that, they love to bring up exceptions or these one-offs. And it's like, okay, you always got exceptions. But what happens in the majority of instances? And I think in the majority of instances, it just don't work. It don't work. So if you're gonna be together, stay together and work it out. And if you're gonna break up and go be with other people, then just stay broken up. You know, I think that's the best way to go. All right, number three, she quietly stalks you.
Most men miss this one, but it's one of the biggest signs she hasn't moved on yet. She watches your stories fast, likes your photos first, follow the girls that you follow, blocks you, unblocks you, and then does it again. That's essentially obsession, just hidden behind a screen. If she was truly done, she'd stop watching. But if she keeps checking your page, she's still thinking about you. So here's your move. Let her watch. Post your progress, your focus, your upgrades, but not for her though. Do it for yourself. She'll see it and she'll feel that shift. This behavior is called digital hypervigilance. It's when someone watches you constantly to feel some kind of control. And when you don't post anything reactive, her brain goes into withdrawal mode. She doesn't get the attention hit, and that silence makes her spiral. Number four, she keeps bringing up the past.
All right, so yeah, number three, she quietly stalks you. Then she's liking your pictures as soon as you post something. Well, I mean, first of all, if somebody is liking your stuff as soon as you post it, first to comment on your stuff, I mean, I think that that's pretty obvious that somebody's into you. I think most people know that. I think most guys know that because that doesn't sound like a woman that's trying to make you guess. And I really think men appreciate that when women give them a little sign or something, to let them know that they're also interested. So, it's just not luck of the draw. Because sometimes that is kind of how it can feel. Unless of course you know that you're one of those guys that can approach almost any woman and get her. And that's different. For the most part, most men, they're not going to get every woman that they want. You definitely have to learn to handle rejection as a man. Obviously with some more than others, some less than others. But I think that the liking of the pictures is very obvious, or to being the first to like or comment. I think that sometimes though, when women like you, they're gonna be more inconspicuous though, and that's the stalking that I would be interested in. Like, okay, how do you know that? I mean, if this person is trying to stay in the shadows, if they're looking at your stuff, but they're not liking nothing. I mean, I guess if you can see who's in your stories and stuff like that, but I mean, I don't know. That I mean, do y'all go back and look at who looked at your story? I've done that before, but typically I don't do stuff like that. That's a lot of work. Uh, I guess if you really doing your Inspector Gadget type thing, there's always going to be traces of who's been here and who's been there, but it almost seems like to catch a stalker, you got to kind of be a stalker yourself. Because again, a stalker, I would assume, is going to remain inconspicuous. I don't think, when I think of stalker, I'm not thinking of somebody that's going to make themselves obvious. And the person that's liking your pictures first and stuff like that, they're making it obvious. I mean, I guess you consider that stalking too. But let's move on to her point number 4. She keeps bringing up the past.
If she's really done, she doesn't talk about you. She doesn't bring up memories or post petty quotes. But when she drops comments like, I hope your next girl handles you better than I did, funny how people change when they don't need you anymore. I gave everything and still got left. Or better yet, she posts indirect things like, some people just don't know what they had until it's gone. To some people, that could look like healing, but it's not. What it is she's still holding on to you. She wants you to react. She wants one last emotional hit, so don't give her one. Let her talk to the silence. That'll sting more than anything you could ever say. This is something called emotional looping. Her brain keeps using you as a reference point. Instead of letting go, she keeps reliving it to feel connected, even if it's painful. Number 5, she's still trying to replace.
Yeah, I agree with Olivia Alexa on 4. I agree with like everything she said. That was really on point. But yeah, the examples that she was giving, those were emotional responses. Those were emotional responses. I've been on like first dates with women before, and they'll bring up their exes and they'll make comments like that. And I've taken them, I've taken the comments exactly like Olivia Alexa explained. I'm sure from the women that I'm on the dates with, when I've experienced this type of thing, they'll they'll kind of have the demeanor like they're talking bad about their ex or whatever the case may be, but you can tell that they're 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 still in their feelings about them. It's like you can tell that's where the anger comes from. So it's like they're trying to like put the ex down, in my presence, but I can tell based off of the things that you're saying, you're just in your feelings. And yeah, so I agree with her. And this is probably something that a lot of us men have probably seen before or experienced before, when talking to a woman and she's mentioning something about her ex. Yeah, pay very close attention with how they talk about them. Even if they're talking in a negative manner, understand that, one, they could be emotional responses like this, which means they're probably still not over that person. But two, this is their side of the story too. And you always gotta understand it's always two sides of the story. I think it's rare. It has happened, but I think it's been rare that I've got to dealing with a woman and she's told me what happened in the last relationship or why things didn't work out, and it's because of them. It's like it's never their fault. It seems like. But anyway, let's move on to number five. This think this should be her last point. She's still trying to replace you. Yeah, and I think I said something about that earlier about a woman trying to replace you, or even a guy trying to replace a woman. A lot of times, if you've been in love with that person, you always have exceptions. But again, exceptions don't make the rule. Some people get lucky. Some people do walk away from their love and they actually like upgrade. And I'm not talking about like compared to high school or something like that. I'm talking about like in your adult life. Your adult life, you have an established relationship with somebody you really care about and somebody that really cares about you. In my opinion, people don't typically move on from those situations and upgrade. I do think that sometimes that does happen, but I think that that's the exception. I think that a lot of times people walk away from the person that they really care about and they end up settling, trying to replace that person, trying to get that vibe again that they're probably not going to be able to get from somebody else. They're trying to get that authenticity that they got from that last person. And I think sometimes people don't appreciate the person that they're with enough, thinking I can go out here and find somebody else that can provide me with the same whatever, the same vibe, the same, but certain people just got that aura to them. And everybody is special in their own right. Nobody's the same. People are special for sure. So it's definitely taking somebody for granted in a sense. If you're walking away from somebody and just assuming I'll be able to get this with the next person too. That's not taking into consideration people's individuality out here. It's like every person that you get to dealing with out here has the potential to be different than the next. And granted, you may come across plenty of people out here that seem like they are the same. But I guess that's one of the cool parts about meeting new people. Yeah, people can be the same, but you might always come across those ones though, those unique people, those chosen ones. But anyway, let's hear what she has to say for her fifth point.
Place you and it's not working. She posts the new guy, same captions, same angles, same poses, but something feels forced, like she's trying to prove something. She might look like she moved on, but emotionally she hasn't. It doesn't matter if he's completely opposite from you or someone who tries too hard to be just like you. And even with all the smiling posts and photos, she still seems off, bitter, cold, lost. Why? Because women don't truly move on until their emotions fully detach. And if she's still chasing attention or dating just to feel better and going out of her way to showcase that, she's still locked into you. So here's the truth. You left a mark. And the man that gave her that deep emotional high, whether from desire or tension, her body remembers that pattern. Now she's chasing it again, but no one hits the same. And the answer to why that is very simple, because they're not you. And deep down, she knows it. If you see any of these signs, she has not moved on. She might act like she doesn't give a damn, but her actions show you everything you need to know. She's still watching, still reacting, still testing, still stuck. The man who understands this doesn't chase, doesn't explain, doesn't break character. He doesn't have to. He watches her expose herself and stays grounded the whole time because he knows, she knows what she's missing. And if you're ready to flip the entire dynamic to become the kind of man she never forgets, grab my book Attraction Secret. The link is in the description. So with that being said, until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Yeah, so with the fifth point, she's going to try to replace you, but she can't. She can't. And why are women like this? I don't know. But you heard it from a woman right from her own mouth, an attractive woman at that. So yeah, I'll take her word for it. She probably does know what she's talking about. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about. But anyway, thanks for checking me out. I did get through the whole video. It's rare that I get through the whole video of what I'm reviewing because I get so long-winded sometimes. But I actually did get through this whole video. We got through this whole video. But if you all want to check out this video without my interruptions, I am going to include a link in the description. Please like, comment. I am still in the beginning stages trying to grow my channel. So all that will help. All that will help. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Thanks for checking me out. Until next time. Peace.